Hello, everybody. It is your girl Crush, and I'm back with another video. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell button so you never miss a video when I do upload. And don't forget to share my videos wherever, with whoever, so they know you rocks with your girl. Shout out to all 300 of my subbies, my precious babies, and my baby boos. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. I'm your girl Precious. This is the Precious B channel. If you've been here before, what it do, baby boo? Shout out to you. And don't forget to, of course, hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Hit the notification bell button if you have not. Hit the thumbs up button. That helps recommend my videos to other people in the algorithm. And of course, down below, you will find all the links to my social media handles, Facebook and IG, my affiliate link to Gisara's Couture, and all of my perfectly curated playlists. This, you guys, happy Friday, is a Whatcha reading review. I haven't done one of these in a while, but baby, I accidentally hooked up with a vampire. We must talk about it. Let's get into it. So, I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire is, of course, a book by Jessica Cage. If you guys don't know, I already did a Whatcha reading review on her first book that I read. Was I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend. And this is basically sort of kind of like a continuation, but not necessarily a continuation. We do, of course, have mentions of Raina and Matisse in this book, but this is solely focusing on Whitney and Domino. Y'all, I have to say I found me a new book bae. He is a vampire. He's 147 years old. His name is Domino, and he the love of my life. Like, if you grew up watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, then you always had a thing for vampires, right? And then Vampire Diaries came out, because we don't talk about Twilight. It's like we don't talk about Twilight. But like, now we got us a black vampire we could be in love with. His name Domino. So basically, it starts off with our girl Whitney. That is our female lead, our beautiful plus size sister. She, of course, is an art broker or dealer, and she's up for a promotion at her job. And she basically loses her job because Raina, okay, kept boot by popping in and out of reality from this world to the next. The girl done lost her job because they was like, girl, you had signed that deal with that lady, and that lady literally fell off the face of the earth, and then she popped back up. Friend, we ain't got time for all that. And so then she go to the little art gallery opening party for her friend that she set up, who is an author, who wrote the book that Raina used to spell from in the last book, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, to summon Matisse. And she meet Domino there because he come and save her from her former boss being a creeper, swiper don't swiping. So baby, after Domino come and save Whitney, they hunch. Cause baby, Whitney got this spy kink where it's this whole we meet, we spies, we hunch, we never see each other and talk again. I'm like, I kind of like that. I'm kind of down with that. I'm kind of down with the hookup and never speak again. I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying? But I've also been celibate for 7 years, so I don't really know if I really, hunch a stranger. But like, if I know I would never, ever see you again, maybe for the plot. Ain't that what the kids said, for the plot? But I will say, because I'm not gonna give too much away, but baby, I will say that I loved every bit of read this. This book was funny. It was engaging. It was a lot of stuff that had me like, would I try this? Yes, like Jessica. you gotta be questioning some things. I will say one of my favorite things about Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire is finding out that her homegirls knew that vampires existed. Jackie and Lena is this whole supernatural crime fighting force. Like, I love the fact that it wasn't just Whitney out here solo dolo dealing with her problems, because I feel like that's kind of what was the disconnect for me in the first book. I will say was that Raina didn't have a community amongst her friends, whereas Raina had a community amongst her friends, and not just that they believed her, but they was already in it, and they had to protect her and then bring her into it. Like, I loved every minute of this book. Like, I Hooked Up with a Vampire is hands down one of my favorite books that I've read this year. Like, I can't wait for whatever the third book gonna be called. I got a feeling it's gonna have something to do with wizards. But I definitely recommend I Hooked Up with a Vampire. It gives, like, this is everything. Y'all should go read it. So again, like, I highly recommend I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire. I love everything about it. I love the backstory of it all. I kind of wish we would have got to know more of, Domino's brother. I kind of wish we would have got to see a little more villainy from him. I feel like if we gonna have a villain, we need to expound upon the villain, if you will. Like, I feel like we need the villain to really villain. We need the villain to really villain. Like, I need the villain to villain. Like, I need for our battles. So hopefully, little notage for the next book. I need our next villain to be like the biggest villain. I'm talking about I connect enough with the villain to really hate them. Because I feel like with each book, I didn't know enough about the villain to fully hate the villain. I was kind of like, I don't like them, but I don't hate them. Like, I feel like in order for us to fully hate a villain, we got to really know a villain. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't take away from the amazing writing that Jessica did for this book, because hands down, I loved everything about this book, from the storytelling, the sex scene, the kinks, the funniness, the banter. I lived for all of it. I just kind of wanted the scenery. I loved the scenery, the way the pictures were painted, about what we were viewing, the visuals, all of that, the detail. I just kind of wish our villain would have been a little more villain. You know what I'm saying? That's the only, I guess you could say, con or qualm I have with I Hooked Up with a Vampire. And not just that, but also, like, I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. Like, I feel like we need to fully have more of our villain. Our villain needs to have a more thoroughness, to where by the time we get to the mid-end of the book, where we're at the battle, the fight, we really now can be like, yes, get them, kill them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need just a little more. And I know we're talking about I Hooked Up with a Vampire and everything about it, and how amazing the book was. Like, I love the writing, the characters, like the asshole cockiness of Domino, like the funny quick-wittedness of Jackie, like the innocent sassiness of Lena. I lived for everything. Also, you know what I thought about the other day when I was in the middle of trying to gather my thoughts for my review, was the fact that the cat is named Maverick, and then he turned into this dragon. Y'all know what I immediately thought of? I immediately thought of Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, Ride the Maverick. Like, I immediately thought of it. I was like, oh, is this low-key living single coded? Because I immediately thought of Maxine Shaw, Ride the Maverick, because Maverick was a cat who turned into a dragon. But what I will say is that, again, like, I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire. I'm actually getting ready to read it again. That's how much I love this, because I feel like maybe I missed something, so I'm going to go back and reread it. But I definitely wanted to come and give y'all this review, because it's a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend. Please go read it. I will say you don't technically have to read the first book to read this book, but it is, recommended that you do, so you understand the whole, like, the witch, Larissa, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Larissa, and how Raina mastered her powers and all that jazz, and how her and Matisse met. But I will say that I absolutely positively loved I Hooked Up with a Vampire. I am more of a vampire girl. Vampire lore is more my thing. The whole demon thing, not really my jam. So I think that's why I didn't really connect well with that book, but I did like it. But I feel like I love this book more. But yeah, so again, like I said, I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire is my favorite book of 2025 thus far. Like, it was exciting to read. Like, I loved every minute of it. Like, I finished this book in like 2.5 days. I never read a book. Like, I had to read it. Like, I love to read. If you don't know by now, I love to read. I love to read. And don't let me get a good book that has all of my favorite things. Kinks, erotic, funny, drama, mystery, fantasy, and black people. Yes, give me. So yes, I Hooked Up with a Vampire by Jessica Cage is hands down my favorite book. One of my favorite vampire. Like, I want another book with them. Like, I need more of them. Like, I need more. And lastly, y'all, just that, Jessica, if you see this, please give me more Domino and Whitney. Like, they need another book. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the next book is about either Lena or Jackie. Or in some type of way, Jackie gets a book. Because I love me some Jackie. But I know this is more centered towards the plus size girls. So I have a feeling the next book going to be about Lena. And I feel like the next book, Lena going to hook up with a wizard. Or some type of mythical creature. I don't know. An angel or something. I don't know. Or we might fuck around and find out that Maverick actually can turn into a man. Oh, bitch, the drama. Listen. But anyway, y'all, I highly recommend I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire by Jessica Cage. It is a 10 out of 10. One of my favorite reads of 2025. Yeah, y'all, that's kind of all. Again, my new love of my life, his name is Domino, and he's a 147-year-old vampire. Yeah. But that is it. That is all, y'all. That was my semi-review and chaoticness about I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire. I try not to give too much away when I do these reviews because I really want you guys to go and read it. But if I had to give like a vampire comparison, just a teensy bit, think technically there's nothing like it, but because this is something new, something fresh, something hip. But think about like an old school 90s type, like Angel, Buffy type vampire, like rules, regulations type situation, right? Just black, hip, modern. Okay? That's it. That's all, y'all. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell button. I love you. Bye.